live streamed to the public, and a recording of the public part of the meeting will be available on the Council's website within 24 hours of the meeting. We have, I believe, one remote participant this evening. So on Teams, if you please turn your camera on when speaking and use the hands up icon to indicate if you wish to comment or question during the course of the meeting. And switch your microphones off when finished. Those in the chamber, please remember to switch microphones on when speaking and to speak directly into the microphone and turn off when finished. Please switch off your mobile phones or at least place them on silent. If you need to take a call, then please leave the room and return when you're finished. Okay, here we go then. Apologies.
Yes, Chair, apologies have been received on behalf of Councillors Begum, who's substituted by Councillor Nasir, Councillors Fry, substituted by Councillor Keynes, and Councillor Azam Khan.
Also, Shanara Maliksi be probably the item.
Thank you. Noted that. Minutes of the 18th of September meeting. Is everybody happy that I should sign those? Good. Okay, I'll do that later. I need to remind you of the need to declare interests, whether prejudicial or pecuniary. And you may do that now or when a relevant item comes up. Anyone wish to declare any interest at this stage? No? Okay, move on. And I don't think we have any Section 106 items, do we?
None I'm aware of, Chair.
Thank you. We don't have any urgent business as far as I'm aware.
None, Chair.
No references from other committees. I don't have anything to update you on. Item 8, finance updates, and also on item 10, the update on the audit. Dev Gopal is suggesting that we should defer the audit report because he hasn't yet got sufficient information, but I believe he's attending virtually in order to explain that to us. Can you hear us, Dev?
Yes, Chair, I can hear you. And good evening, councillors. Yeah.
You never did matters arising from the minutes. You did minutes, but you never did matters arising.
Carry on, Dev.
Yeah. So first, about Q2, that's the item which we said we are working on that because the Q2 is end of September, and the report is going to the December executive. After the executive will bring it to FRG, but if the chair, if members are minded to bring it closer to the 1st of December, the next FRG is 20th of November. That is too close for us to bring the September figures. So we are going to take it to executive and bring to FRG. The earliest FRG is 6th of January, Chair. So if, as I said, if FRG is minded to bring it earlier, closer to December, we can do that. But there must be another meeting for FRG to consider that Q2. In terms of audit, the audit has resumed now. So they started audit around sort of May, June time, and then they stopped because normally external auditors, they prioritize NHS, and now they've started the audit in November, and they are planning to issue their first interim report in January 2026, and then according to plan, issue the audit report on February 2026, and the timeline is in accordance with government guidance. I'm quite happy to take any questions, Chair.
Thank you for that, Dev. Anybody got any questions or comments before we allow Dev to get on with his life? Thank you very much indeed for taking the trouble to be with us, Dev.
Thank you very much. and good evening, everybody. Thank you. Bye.
Councillor Short, there isn't actually an item on the agenda for matters arising from minutes, but I'm quite happy to take one if you've got one.
Page 13, halfway down, about special education needs transport. Number one, Deb was supposed to come back and tell us, if you read the report, why councillors were excluded after stage 1 of the appeal, whereas stage 2 is only officers and there is no stage 3 like anything else in the council. And also why people are waiting so long. I've got a case that's been made an offer to the council. He was having to take time off work every morning to take his child to Dunstable College, and the wife has had to finish work early and cut her hours to fetch him home from Dunstable College. But we got no answer back for Dev. It actually says well, the appeals process is in place to councillors to represent applicants at stage 1. So he was supposed to come back and tell us, after discussing with the departments, all the questions we put down. I see there's no report back on the agenda.
Thank you for that, Councillor Short. My recollection is that, in fact, we were promised an update by email following the meeting. I haven't received it. You haven't received it. I guess no one's received it. So if Dominic could chase that up, that would be helpful.
It does say the Director of Finance seek a response from the service areas on the questions below and report back to a future meeting of the committee. That's what we put in the minutes.
Okay. We'll follow it up and see where we go. It's an important issue and it's quite right that we need to get to the bottom of it. Okay, so moving on then, stage update. Who's going to give us this? That's Roger, thank you.
Good evening, everybody. It's just a short verbal update on the stage project. I'm pleased to report that we've established a very constructive and open relationship now with the building safety regulator, and all the signs are that we will have building safety regulators sign off on the 7th of November. That means that we will start work in earnest as soon as the Christmas holidays are over. 5th of January, we'll be on site again. In the meantime, we've managed to work closely with Wilmot Dixon to keep the project within its existing budget, and the contract will be let at the cost agreed by executive previously.
Thank you very much. Does that mean the £20 million government grant is safe?
Safe and secure, yes.
Any questions? Comments? Thank you, Roger.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you.
Here we go then. Garden waste fees and charges.
Mr. Chair, do I have to declare an interest on this?
If you are thinking of declaring an interest simply because you pay to have your brown bin emptied, I don't think that counts as a declarable interest.
Which is not clear.
It would if you were being given some special treatment that no one else has got access to, but you're not. We have both our brown bins emptied every fortnight. Sean, thank you.
Good evening, Chair. This report is one of 2 or 3 going through the governance process to end up at the executive next Monday, and it's to focus on the subscription-based garden waste service and the proposals to have a 4% increase from £48 per bin to £50 per bin per season. And the report provides some of the background, in both the national picture, with some 84% of councils now offering a subscription-based service, and provides some of the history as well as the makeup of subscribers per ward and the timeline for the subscription service for next season. If the chair and members are happy, I'm happy to take questions, or I can go through the report line by line.
I think we're entitled to assume that people have read the report, even if some of them haven't. Questions? Okay, I've got a couple. I think the first one is that since the charge has been increased over the years, 3,000 people appear to have stopped using the service. That presumably has led to an increase in fly tipping. It certainly has shown an increase in garden waste being fly tipped in the Bradgers Hill Nature Reserve. No question about that at all. Do we have any idea of how much additional fly tipping of garden waste has occurred?
The fly tipping over the years has remained, in terms of garden waste, is being between 2 and 4% of incidents across the town. It's remained fairly steady. And all during that time, the two civic amenity sites have been receiving garden waste, and that is free to all residents. So we haven't seen an increase because of the subscription service.
Okay, moving on then. I wonder if I prefer you answer this question to individual members by email, actually. Maybe if you email to Dominic, he will pass it on for us. Could we have the tonnage of garden waste that's collected by month, either in the current year or a very recent year?
Yes, I can do that. We'll look back as far as we've got the records and supply that to you.
Yeah, thank you very much. I've got, I think, one more. Yeah, your chart on page 18 shows collections in December and January, when in fact there is no garden waste collection. Has any been collected in December and January?
No, there's no substantive collections. They are probably the fly tipping and any residual collections where they're in a very public place.
Anybody else before we come to a conclusion? I would like to suggest to you then that we do. Oh, I'm sorry, Anwar.
I just wanted to find out it's about decrease of 3,000 in the numbers which we had in last years. And what do you think, what's the reason? Is it the prices or is something else which it should go up instead of, like going down?
Yeah, anecdotally, locally and nationally, a lot of authorities are finding either the numbers remain steady, even though the housing growth in a town, or they drop slightly as people start to share the bins because they don't produce as much as they do every second week, so they tend to share it, especially some of the residents with smaller gardens, because they take the large quantities to the civic amenity sites, which is free. So that will account for some of it, but some of it people will just decide they don't want the service.
Anybody else? Yes?
Thank you, Chair. So I just want to understand, if I can, Sean. So we're going to increase the price of the collection to £50 and also reduce it from 10 months to 9 months. Surely increasing the price, reducing the service of frequencies, you're going to get a lot more drop-off from people using the service?
The slight reduction in the time that it's in operation is really just to reflect that we don't pick up that much in the February. So it's trying to keep the resources focused on the 9 months. And then hopefully that will keep operational costs down. And then in the future, we can reassess what our costs are and hence what the subscription rate will be.
Just that it just doesn't look good, increasing the price, reducing the service. So it's just the impact it's going to have on the council. I'm a bit worried about that.
Okay.
Nobody else? Okay, I would like to suggest then that we send a reference to executive to the effect that we understand the reasoning for increasing the price of the service, but fear that reducing the operation from 10 months to 9 is likely to lead to further increases in fly tipping, and we strongly recommend that they maintain a 10-month operation. Does anybody have anything to say about that?
I don't think we can support it. The simple reason is doesn't bear out reality. I used to have the fortnightly collection brown bin, but now all my back garden's decking and all the front garden shingle. So the bit we get off the plants and everything else we share with our neighbour. And as Sean said, I was totally surprised when I saw how little we pick up in February because it's after the winter period. So people haven't started doing stuff. I would rather, £50 is still the cheapest for all the councils around us. We're still the cheapest by far. And there has been no increase in fly tipping. You included those words in your recommendation. And there's been no proof given to anybody that since we went from 40 odd quid up to 50 over 3-4 years, that it's actually caused any increase in fly tipping at all. So we'll be voting against your recommendation.
Anybody else? Okay, I put it to you then that we should advise the executive that we understand the reasons for increasing the charge for the service, but strongly recommend that they maintain a 10-month service and don't reduce it to 9, because we fear that such a reduction would lead to a further increase in fly tipping. Anybody intending to vote against that? Okay, those in favour, please show. Thank you. That's not carried. Well, I'm perfectly happy to do that. If you're prepared to support a move that says that we recommend they maintain a 10-month service and don't reduce it to 9, I'm very happy to move that. Right, now, is everybody in support of that? Got that, Dominic? Thank you very much. Thank you, Sean. Okay, we move on then to our work programme. Anything you want to tell us about that, Dominic?
I've not had anything added on to the work programme apart from what's, as you can see, the report and on the files given out to members.
Okay, the only thing I've got to say about the work programme is that I have asked for a report on the current financial position of Foxhall Homes Limited. And actions the directors are proposing to deal with it. And I've been promised that that report will be forthcoming. But they're waiting for information from the LGA about other authorities' experiences with their housing companies, because they feel that might be helpful. Yeah, I don't think you need to declare an interest on my announcement, but when the report comes, clearly you will have to, yes. Okay, I think that concludes the business in public. Just wait for